Not gonna lie, I'm really bored, so I'm just gonna record an overclocking video. But the last time I did this, I did it on the graphics card, and this time, now that I have my cooler in, actually wait, no, now that I have that cooler in, I'm gonna do it for the CPU, and this is exactly how I'm gonna do it. The graphics card, you'd have Heaven Benchmark, but for the CPU, you have Cinebench. And the goal of this video is to get the highest possible score for the CPU that I have on this Heaven Benchmark. Now, to make things a lot more simple, I'm just going to be using Ryzen Master to overclock and fine tune everything. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and essentially just taking you guys on the ride. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about this kind of stuff, make sure you leave it in the comments below. But without any further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, as with all these tests, we need to establish a baseline. So there's a lot of stuff on screen, and none of this matters except this stuff, this, and this big apply button, which I have now clicked. Also this big start button here. So for this, we're just going to be running one test, and the results will appear here in orange. And all we need to do is to get our orange number as high as possible, or as high as I feel like I can go without exploding my computer. It's done, and we got 9,515. So that's going to be the baseline, and hopefully we can just keep improving from there. Okay, thankfully I have a preset. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm just going to hope that it does anyways. And let's see how this does. Now, once again, this is not a guide. It's going to be just me messing about really. But there are some things that you can take from this, and that there are three things that only matter when it comes to overclocking. That comes the speed, the voltage, and the temperature. Now you might be thinking, why the temperature? And that's because if the temperature is too high, a lot of the time it'll just completely shut off, or it won't work because of it. That's why if you see, like, I don't know, Jay's 2 cents or some people that overclock really hard, they will often use like some insane cooling, probably just put ice on the CPU or something, I don't know. Okay, nice, that actually worked, and we got our score increase as well to 7,000, nice one. No, sorry, 9,757. We can definitely go higher, and hopefully on here, yeah, it just got up to about like 5 degrees, which isn't too bad, that's fine. Now, of course, when you do this, you don't want to just set it immediately to the max or something, which this is physically possible on every universe. So I think the best thing to do is to do little increments by 25, which is going to take a lot of testing, but to also make sure that it would work, we can also increase the voltage, because if it's not getting enough power, it'll just be like, hey, what are you doing? And just turn off. So we'll see if this works. 4,000, wait, what? Yeah. Also, there is its own apply and test, but that's a bit iffy, and also it doesn't give us a score. So we're gonna leave it and use this instead. Okay, the test is done, and we've reached the 9,800 mark, which is perfect. So let's see if we can go any further. And I know this can go up to about like 4,400, but I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to take it in small increments as usual, and maybe add a bit more voltage as well. You also don't want to add too much voltage, because then that will create a lot of heat, and as I mentioned before, if there's too much heat, then the PC just won't take it and it'll shut off, which we don't want. We want to see numbers, not a black screen like this. Okay, so the score was 9,800, 9,900, and we just increased it by 25. Damn, okay, I thought this, like, the limit would be like 10,000, but we might even get past it to like 12,000 maybe. But actually, you know what? Yeah, screw it. Alright, we're gonna go straight to 4,400, just see how much it can go. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna leave it at 1.3, and let's see if that works. Okay, so it didn't crash immediately. But will it crash now? Now, I'm actually not 100% sure what would happen if it does crash. Hopefully the computer doesn't just explode, and instead it'll just come up with a blue screen. That'll be the ideal the ideal issue. And I'm just gonna make sure that, where is it? Okay, it's not on here, which I'm really scared of. There is a setting on some of these where it will start up and automatically start the overclock, which you don't want actually, because if that does happen, then you won't be able to turn on your computer if it does crash and you have an overclock like this. So make sure you always double check that. Okay, the test is gonna finish, and I'm gonna predict it's gonna be like 10,050. And actually, no, we didn't even cross the 9,000. We didn't even cross the 10,000 mark. Okay, well, I guess we gotta try and go even further, unless maybe. No, the temperatures are perfectly fine. You always want to be checking the stuff to see if maybe that could be the issue, but it doesn't seem to be. So I guess we just keep going, and this time we're definitely going to take it in increments of 25, and I think that's enough voltage. So we hit apply, and then once again start the test again. And there is two settings that you've seen here, two start buttons. One is multi-core, which is kind of just like the whole CPU, and then single core, which is like only a few parts of the CPU that will be tested. And usually for gaming, single core is what is necessary. And as a little side note, usually Intel CPUs, they do better on single core. So I don't know, if you and your friend have a PC and you're like, oh yeah, I got more score on Cinebench, and you have an Intel CPU, well, you can just run it on single core and be like, hee hee, GG, easy. Also, very sorry for the poor camera angles. The tripod that I'm using is sort of broken, and if you like stand it up to how I normally would have it, it will just fall over and turn into a biscuit. And yes, we broke the 10,000 mark. That's great. Now moving on to 4.45, and let's see if this will work. I don't expect it to, but if it does, that's great. Although there definitely is a limit, of course, to the CPU, you know. You can only go so far with voltage and temperatures, but sometimes that won't be enough and the CPU just won't be able to handle it. So this will also see where its limits are at. And maybe we can fine tune other stuff to see if we can bring it up higher. But first, this test needs to complete, and actually I'm just going to do a quick transition. And as we can see, the CPU didn't even go that much even, which suggests that it may be reaching its limit and it might crash if we go any further. So let's go ahead and do it anyways. So increase it by 25, and you know we're just gonna add one more. So we got that much voltage. Apply, and let's see if this will even run. Okay, I don't know how that test ran, but it did, and we actually didn't even make an improvement on the score. So I think it's definitely absolutely hit its limit. However, you can see on here that everything is working perfectly fine. It's actually running at the speed that it should be. So I think this might be its last push up. Now, if this can somehow run it, I'm pretty sure this will probably be one of the fastest Ryzen 5 3600s out there. Although I did hear that someone got 4.6 or even 4.7, which is complete bonkers. We're going to hit apply, and hopefully this can run. Although if it doesn't, I won't be too surprised, honestly. All right, so 3, 2, 1. And oh, it's running. It's working. Okay. And oh my days, it's actually working. Actually, what does... Oh, and wait, the cursor stopped working. Yeah, it crashed. Ah, damn it. Okay, so that's its limit. Okay, well, I think... Actually, oh, I've just thought of something. Okay, this isn't as far as it can go. Actually, hopefully, there is one more trick up my sleeve that we can use, potentially. But I'm going to have to restart first of all. Oh, flip, hang on. Okay, well, restart. And for this, we need to go into the BIOS, because then there may be something that could help us out. Okay, so I was thinking, so the memory and the CPU work very well together, and on AMD it's a lot more significant. So I'm thinking, what if I just go and it's that easy. But basically I've just sped up the RAM from 3000 megahertz to 3200 megahertz, which a lot of people are saying is kind of like the sweet spot for cost and performance. And let's see if we can get that CPU setting again, and hopefully we can break the 11,000 mark, which would be pretty nice. See what happens if I disable everything actually. And maybe that could even improve the score slightly. Okay, everything is back to how it should be. We have the... Yep, we got the CPU stuff all ready, and Cinebench is ready to go. And I think even, I might go as far as to even close this, which won't reset the overclock. However, we won't be able to monitor temperatures and stuff like that. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, this computer is actually really quiet. I mean, I've turned off the LEDs. Maybe, hang on, wait. Oh, how could I forget? I'm such a fraud. Of course, we have to have the RGB on, because RGB, of course, makes everything faster. How did I not know? Oh my days. I think that might have been the hidden gem that we needed. Okay, everything is closed, and hopefully with all these final adjustments, we can get the highest score possible in 3, 2, 1. Okay, and it's running. The cursor hasn't frozen yet, although it did freeze after like it got to about here. So I'm still very cautious. Now, does this guarantee performance in games? Kinda. It will, of course, improve performance because everything's running a lot faster. But Does this guarantee stability? Absolutely not. No, this is only one test, and if you want to make sure that everything is stable and it won't crash on you, you use everything. So all your games, all of your tools have to be running and such. That's how you make sure it's stable, not just from one test. So you gotta remember that. Now, having said that, I am absolutely not running this kind of setting probably ever again unless I'm showing it to someone, because this is extremely inefficient and very overkill. But I'm pretty sure the score to beat is a lot more than that. I don't know why that's gone lower. Unless, okay, and I think, yeah, I might have. Oh no, okay, well, that's a bit of an L on me. Okay, well, reset. Okay, the test is almost finished, and hopefully we can beat 10,200. And it's 10,300. Okay, well, it didn't make that much of a difference anyways. That's absolutely the limit. I'm gonna call that 10,800 was a complete fluke. But I'm still counting it anyways because it happened. But, alright, just as a last test, let's see if this works. So, 4,500. We'll just crank the voltage up to about, yeah, 1.33. Hit apply. And the final test in 3, 2, 1. Now, I would crack this down to cooling. However, on AMD Router Master, everything's saying that it's perfectly fine. Like, it's not even reaching 70 degrees. So there really is no reason to completely make the fan settings go. Although, oh, yeah, and it just crashed. Okay, well, that's nice. Yeah, I think that's as far as it can go. It's not going to go any further. And an error message is going to pop up right. 3, 2, 1. If the camera can focus. Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate, and I think that's absolutely as far as it can go. I really don't want to damage the only computer I have. Okay, well, what if I reset the CPU? Maybe that could work. Did I say CPU? I meant PC. Whoops. Okay, well, the screen's flickering a bit, and the RGB stopped as well to stop that blue, which actually looks pretty nice. Okay, and everything's back on. Great. Okay, I thought I just completely broke my system then. But yeah, that's as far as it can go. So the score to beat, if you want to do this, is 10,815, I think. It'll be on screen now. But yeah, I'm going to have to go back into every setting and put it back to default so I can actually edit this video. But so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you like this video, make sure to like it. And if you like this video, then subscribe. Hopefully we have a lot more videos like this coming in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Alright, bye.